guys, Joanna here. So I have been thinking a lot about this whole thing about beliefs, and maybe that's because I'm doing a meditation with Deepak Chopra and Oprah, and it's a 21-day meditation about how our beliefs affect our lives and our picture in our lives. And if you have not gotten involved in that, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you do that. You can do that by going to ChopraMeditationCenter.com. So there's my plug. And also, as a student of metaphysics, my bachelor's degree is actually in metaphysics. And so what metaphysics means is like I basically study the things that make the world work. So only I don't do it with a microscope. I do it with studying thoughts, and I study like beliefs and who has certain beliefs and why they have that belief and what it causes in their life. Like, and are there other people that have the same beliefs? So I study even more. I study patterns because like you can find certain people that have things like that we like and admire: grit, strength, determination, courage. You can find people that all have that things: grit, courage, strength, determination, and they all believe a certain thing. They all believe a system of beliefs. They all act in a certain way in order to create that in their lives. You can do the same thing with charisma. They've done studies on charisma. Like, there's 3 different types of charisma, and I won't go into it now, but the people that have these different forms of charisma, they have gone back and said, okay, so what do these people believe? What do they do in order for them to have charisma like this? So everything that you see, you can actually create. And then, I also, even though it's not as enjoyable to me, I look at the things that we don't appreciate, right? So people who are dishonest, not trustful, cowardly, those types of things. And I look at see what beliefs do they hold and what patterns are they acting in, because that also sets me up for like a pattern of how I can help other people, right? So if you want to move from being fearful to being courageous, how do you do that? And so actually, that's actually a little bit of a misnomer. So it's if you want to move from being cowardly to being courageous, how do you do that? And that's what I help people to do, is to bridge that gap. And to realize that cowardly people experience the same fears that courageous people do. And when I say cowardly and courageous, it's not a label. It is an action word in this sense, right? So one of the things that I've noticed that people who come at the belief system from the belief system and the pattern recognition from a place of religion or spirituality is that they completely get rid of the hope aspect of it. Like, oh, hope is like the same as expectation, and it's not. It's very much not. And meanwhile, the people that come at it from a psychological or a neurolinguistic programming and those types of things come at it from hope is a process. It is a system that guides us, which is the same, which is why we say that hope floats. Hope floats because it's an actual thing. It's kind of like, it's like this card here, right? So this card is an actual thing. And if I were to put it on water, it floats. Now, if I had a rock, it would sink. But hope, because of the nature and the density of it, floats, metaphorically. So that's why we say hope floats, because it's an actual thing. It's not an emotion, although it does release a feeling into our body. And that hope is what you need in order to be able to move forward. So anytime that you are faced with a dragon or a lion, any obstacle that is in the way between what you want and where you're going, between where you are and where you're going, that is an opportunity for you to put forge a plan. So I've been reading this book called Rising Strong by Brene Brown, and I think I need to flip it like that. Hopefully it comes out right, because I've learned that these videos, if I'm thinking my right, I actually should go that direction because the camera's reversed. I didn't know that. Although I did know that with a photograph. But anyhow, I digress. So I've been reading this book called Rising Strong by Brene Brown, and she put it into words that, like, I absolutely love and appreciate, and I'm like, oh, I can do something with that. That makes sense to me. So she said, in my work, I've found that moving out of powerlessness and even despair requires hope. Hang on a second. Out come the glasses, so my church knows that when this happens, I'm getting business. Okay, so hope is not an emotion. It's a cognitive process, a thought process made up of what researcher C.R. Snyder called the trilogy of goals, pathways, and agency. Hope happens when we can set goals, have the tenacity and perseverance to pursue those goals, and believe in our own abilities to act. Snyder also found that hope is learned. When boundaries, consistency, and support are in place, children learn it from their parents. But even if we didn't get it as kids, we can still learn hope as adults. It's just tougher when we're older because we have to resist and unlearn old habits, like the tendency to give up when things get tough. Hope is a function of struggle. If we're never allowed to fall or face the adversity as children, we are denied the opportunity to develop the tenacity and sense of agency we need to be hopeful. So, that leads me all the way to saying this, like, don't give up hope. Learn how to develop hope, how to set some goals, how to work towards those goals, even in the midst of, like, it looks like game over. Just keep working. You keep doing what you need to do, and life will work out. Because you're moving towards it and you're making small incremental steps. And the struggle that we all experience, because we all experience struggle, whether it's something like mental illness, or whether it's something like cancer, or it's something like divorce, or job loss, or kids dying, like parents dying, we all experience struggle. There is a gift for each and every one of us inside of that struggle. And it's the struggle that makes us stronger, and it makes us the people that we are. So, embrace the struggle, because it will help you to reach your goals, because it helps you to develop hope. Just don't give up until the miracle happens. So I hope that the thing that you take out of this is that hope is a good thing, because it floats. And in order to develop hope, you've got to learn to move through struggle. Don't quit. Keep your goals in front of you. Believe that you can do it, even if it's tiny, tiny, tiny little baby steps. And take action. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.